Oh, there's a lot to unpack there. I am definitely confused by some of it, and we're going to talk about that, and then hopefully you can all answer that for me in the comments if possible, unless you're confused as well. Let's review. So, I did not write anything in my handy dandy notebook like I said I was going to for the first half an hour of this show because I was so enthralled by their fight scenes. This was insane. We have Wanda and Agnes going at it, we have White Vision versus Vision, fake Vision, like Pietro going at it, and it was so epic. I loved it. I also loved how Vision defused the fight with White Vision by just like talking it out. It's so Vision. It's so funny because it's not Vision, but it's so Vision. It's so something he would do. So basically what it appears is that Vision touched White Vision's not an infinity stone, I don't know, like chip, and implanted basically his thoughts, and I don't want to say memories because they're not technically his memories, but I guess you could say Wanda's memories into him. So he collected all of that data and then he just bounced. I thought he was gonna come back, and he's just like, bye, I'm gonna take this information and think about it, and then I'll come back. Like, where did he go? Where did White Vision go? And oddly enough, now that we had him basically be resurrected and implanted with Wanda's memories of him when he was alive, which are basically his memories, we have Vision back. That's pretty crazy. We actually have Vision back. It's not technically Vision, but it's technically Vision. That's insane. So I can't wait to see where they go with that and tell us where Vision went. So allowing that to happen, the creation or recreation, if you will, of Vision, they were able to take away Wanda's vision because we still have a Vision in this world now. It's not like we're never going to have him again. Like when he died at the end of Avengers, we were like, oh my gosh, like Vision's gone. He's not in this world anymore. Vision's gone. We don't have Vision anymore. This is terrible. It's sad. But now we have Vision back. A Vision. Anyway. Agatha, I don't even know what to call her anymore. We'll call her Agatha because that's her real name. Agatha and Wanda are fighting, and Agatha, so awesome that they incorporated the beginning of what that small little snippet that we saw of her backstory of where she drains the Coven's powers. That's all we needed to know about her. She's a witch, she's super powerful in the dark magic, and she drains powers. Sums it up perfectly. So she starts draining Wanda's powers, or so she thinks. Wanda's making her believe this until she realizes that there are ruins around. I even say in the reaction, I'm like, what are those markings? She made ruins around the hex. I'm assuming that immediately after Wanda found that out from Agatha, like, oh, I can do that. She did it, and Agatha just didn't notice? No, that couldn't be, though, because then Agatha was using her powers to strangle the boys. So she wouldn't have been able to do that if Wanda had created that. My guess is when Agatha and Wanda were fighting and she's shooting beams at her, every time she missed, she was actually creating the ruins. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments because I'm not positive that's what happened. That's the way I interpreted it. Otherwise, how would they have even been fighting to begin with? Unless there's some way where Wanda can like break it down and let like Agatha use her powers and then be like boop and pop it back up. Maybe she could. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. In the last episode, when Wanda first comes in contact with the Mind Stone, it draws her in. This burst of golden light occurs and she sees what appears to be Scarlet Witch in like the old school comic book Scarlet Witch costume. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that is Scarlet Witch, is what I said. I think either in the beginning or during the reaction. I had watched a reaction, and it's the Real Rejects. Oh, I love them. They are so funny. They're so good, and they're very, very good with breaking everything down. They had said that's clearly a Scarlet Witch in the old Scarlet Witch costume, but that doesn't mean it's Scarlet Witch. So I was thinking it could have maybe been her mother or somebody else. No, it was her. I feel like it was the Infinity Stone trying to show her this is what you're going to become. It's very obvious now looking back at it, knowing what we know now and all. And that I just thought that was really cool how like she so all of a sudden started transforming into Scarlet Witch. But it's an updated version of Scarlet Witch. And mark my words, this is going to be Halloween's number one costume this year, the new Scarlet Witch costume. I loved it though. I thought it was so awesome. It was like that leathery kind of chest plate with the little designs up top, and she's got her little crown with the points. That's the thing that always bothered me. Like, I know that the old school comic book characters, their costumes can sometimes be really cheesy, and that was like part of the excitement of it. But Scarlet Witch's like little hat thing with the points, that always bothered me. It didn't bother me, but I never loved it. It was just too cheesy to where it took away from her strength for me. Like, it was too cheesy that it took away her strength for me. It just made me think that she was like dull. But again, I didn't know very much about her from the comics because I never really dived into her comics. And now knowing how insanely powerful she is, it almost makes it even more comical. But it is her signature trademark. I really dig the modernized version of her costume. I love it. I actually kind of want to do it for Halloween. Ralph, the whole season, we're like, where's Ralph? Where's Ralph? She keeps talking about Ralph. Where the hell is Ralph? I'm still under the impression that Ralph is Senor Scratchy as well, but Ralph Boner, as seen on his headshot, is Pietro, but who is Ralph? I'm still not convinced that Ralph is just Ralph. And he says to Monica when they're in his man cave, he says to Monica, this is just a place I stay when the missus is out stirring trouble or something like that, stirring up trouble. The missus. So it's his girlfriend, his wife, whatever. That still leaves room for it to be Mephisto, because who else would it be? There's so many hints and nods towards it being Mephisto that I don't see where else they would go with it at this point. Like, I've watched other reviews and reactions where there's like devils in the background, and Pietro, when he's with the kids on Halloween, he's like, raise hell demon spawn, like, or the whole thing from the comic is that Tommy and Billy are pieces. They kept saying like pieces or shards or something of Mephisto, and he's the devil. So demon spawn. I don't know who else it would be, who else it could be, other than that. I'm curious to see if Ralph Boner, the way they spelled it was like Bohner, if that is from something else, or if like maybe, what is it, like I don't think it's called an anagram. What is it when you mix up the letters to spell something else? Is it gonna be something like that? I don't know. That was Ralph Boner. Monica absorbs bullets. She jumps in front of the twins and absorbs the ammo that is being shot at her. And then she doesn't necessarily, she absorbs it at first, and then it comes out the back and just falls down. So cool. She is not even bulletproof. Like, what would you call, I guess that's bulletproof. I mean, she's a bullet destroyer. It was so awesome. That was so great. And I love how they had the cute little interaction between her and the boys. I like your powers. And I like yours too. Like, that's so cute. She is badass. She is freaking strong. So I cannot wait to see what they do with her character, which leads us into one of the end credit scenes. I don't know who that person is, or that goblin, I don't know what to call her, that creature. I don't know who that person is. I still have yet to watch Captain Marvel. I kept meaning to watch it before the season was over, and I never got a chance to. Now that WandaVision has ended, we have a little tiny break before Falcon and Winter Soldier, because that's, I can't remember when they said it. What, maybe it is next week, actually. I'll have to look that up. But now that we have a little break until then, I'm going to watch Captain Marvel, and I'm just probably not going to edit it up and put it on YouTube right away, because movies are so hard to edit. They're so lengthy. It'll take me like 10 hours to edit that, if not longer. I have a lot of other edits to do, and so that'll probably be something that gets thrown up on my Patreon, which you should check out. The link is in the description below. There's the full unedited reaction of this, in addition to all the other shows that I offer. But I don't know who that person is, and I'm assuming if I watch Captain Marvel, I will know, because she said that she was a friend of Monica Rambeau's mother. Now, when she says he wants to talk to you, the only he that I could think of would be Nick Fury, because he's the one who always contacts people and is involved in everything tying together. I don't know who else a singular he could be. Like, if she said they or whatever, then I'd be like, oh, maybe the Avengers, but she said he. I don't know who else of a he could be attached to Monica other than White Vision, but I don't think White Vision would try to contact Monica, first of all people. I think it's Nick Fury. So let me know in the comments if you agree with that or not, or if you know. When Agatha calls out Wanda, basically, on how these people are in pain and feel like they're being forced into this, or are being forced into this, and don't want to be there, how she's hurting them, Wanda's saying no. She's like, no, that's not true, stop. Now, it's proven from the last episode that she did not purposely make this world. She didn't purposely create this hex. She did it out of a fit of rage and sadness. But now that she figured that out, with Agatha going through all those motions, she still let it occur. And that's where I'm having trouble understanding. And I feel like they're making this kind of vague to leave up to your interpretation. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments what you feel. The whole time prior to Agatha exposing herself, she would freak out if any indication of this world not being perfect occurred. So when she saw the guy who climbs out of the sewer, she freaks out, no, and goes, like, rewinds their time. And when the thing with Dobbie, where the glass breaks and the radio, Jimmy comes through on the radio, and she just snaps out of it. Are these instances actually confusing her and making her be like, what's going on? Or is she going, what's going on? Oh my gosh, remembering what she did and then choosing to not believe it? And either way, did she really not know that these people were in pain? Because Vision figured it out very quickly. I can't remember the character's name, but the guy that he works with. When he touched him, he's like, oh my God, I'm in pain. Let me go. You gotta help me. You gotta help me. Freaking out. So if she can snap into, like, oh my gosh, something's wrong here, can she not feel everybody's pain? And, like, I mean, I don't know if it's that, again, she's fighting that she doesn't want to believe it because she just wants her perfect world, or if she really was ignorant to the fact that these people were in so much pain. Because when she has the conversation with Monica about being the villain, she's like, maybe I already am. I feel like she's letting on that she does know that these people are being tormented and hurt. But at the same time, when she's arguing with them at the end, they're like, let us go. I have a daughter and I have a husband. And she's going, no, you're fine here. You're at peace. Like, is that just something you're telling yourself and trying to convince them of? Or do you really believe that? I feel like it matters. Some of you might be like, it doesn't matter. I feel like it matters a lot because it draws a very distinct line of being a villain, like she said, as opposed to not. Because if you, like Monica says at the end, if I had a chance to bring my mom back, I would. But at the disadvantage of an entire town of people being in pain, losing somebody is so unbelievably painful that yes, you sometimes feel like I would do anything to bring them back. But knowing that pain and how traumatizing it can be for you, you would want to inflict that on dozens and dozens of people just to selfishly have what you want. It's very easy to say, no, you wouldn't do that unless you're actually presented with the idea or the ability to when it's regarding your loved ones. It's just, I don't think I would say that so quickly, you know? Like, I wouldn't want somebody taking my loved ones away from me to sacrifice to see theirs. So why, I can't imagine doing that to somebody, but everybody's different. I don't know. That's something I got to think about. Wanda and Vision finally got their goodbye. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting to hysterically well, that wasn't hysterical because I'm let me tell you, that wasn't hysterical. Watch This Is Us. I I was not expecting to get that emotional. I figured they were gonna have like a sadder scene with her and the kids or her and Vision, but I did not anticipate it being that freaking emotional. I didn't think that she was gonna get rid of the hex at the end by the end of the season, to be honest with you. I thought for some reason they were gonna have, like I said in the reaction, maybe like it shrinks down to just the house, or like, I guess because her cover's blown at this point, can't really not have people mess with it. But I just didn't see the hex going away by the end of the season. And because it did, though, we had to say goodbye to Billy and Tommy. We had to say goodbye to the kids. And we had to say goodbye to our Vision, who we knew as our Vision this whole season. And I am just so surprised that she agreed to do that so quickly. I know I say quickly and it really wasn't that quickly. And I know she knew deep down, like, this is what I have to do this. This is what I have to do for everybody else. Like, because even Monica says that they'll never understand what you gave up. And it's like, kind of like, yeah, actually, I think they would, because they had to give up all of their loved ones because of her. But anyway, I'm surprised that Wanda did that. And it makes me feel almost like she did that because of what happened in the second end credits scene. But before we get into that, I just want to once again state that Wanda and Vision had their goodbye, their rightful goodbye that they needed. And I keep saying they, even though it wasn't really Vision. It was basically for Wanda. It was Wanda's closure, is what it was. Wanda watched the love of her life get his head ripped out. Like that would be the equivalent of you watching your significant other's brain, just like someone going digging into their skull, ripping their brain out, and then just like walking away with it. So for her to not to have that be the last vision of him, the last thing she sees of him, and her last experience with him is terrible. It's so sad. It's absolutely, you always think of when someone passes on, what is your last moment with them? What was the last thing you said to them? What was the last thing you guys did? And that is just, that's as bad as it can get. So I am so happy for her to have had that moment, that actual closure of a goodbye in a romantic embrace with the person she loves. She deserved that after hijacking an entire town and stealing a bunch of people. The very final end credit scene, we see Wanda at a remote cabin, and it's kind of like, it reminded me of The Apartment in Sokovia a little bit. I'm sure that was the whole purpose of it. And you first see her and you think, oh wow, she's just living this docile life of calm, peace, tranquility, and sipping her tea on the front porch. And you could see she's sad and she's still in pain, of course, but she's not hurting anybody. She's by herself and she's just living her life now. But not so much, because then you go into her room and there's a second Wanda. This is what confused me. Did she duplicate herself? The second Wanda, who was in Scarlet Witch's costume, if you will, seemed to be a bit translucent. So it makes me feel like Scarlet Witch is a separate entity from Wanda Maximoff, and she is able to separate the two. Like maybe that, like a piece of her mind, like that's her mind, or her spirit and her mind. And she's able to study from the dark book. I forget exactly what the book was called, but that was the witch book. That was the black dark witch book that Agatha had in her basement. So that's dark magic. That's not good stuff. That's not being a superhero. She's practicing dark magic. And she's studying that while bodied human Wanda's just like walking around chilling, drinking tea. So that part, I need clarification on that exactly. Like, that was her. Did she make a twin of herself? I think I theorized and explained it possibly right, but if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments and explain it better. But while she's studying, she hears the kids crying for help, saying help, help, help. And it's clearly not something that she has heard before, I want to say, because she looks startled and surprised. She's like flipping through the books, flipping through, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh my gosh, like I heard that. Those were my sons. I heard that. Like, she's startled, and it looks like she goes to do something. Or she moves. I'm assuming that she's reading up on the dark magic to try and figure out another way to do the hex. How's the best way I can put it? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Like, is she just trying to learn the dark magic to understand it, to assist in the magic that she knows she can do that's good? Is there any good magic, actually? Or is she becoming a full-on dark villain in order to get what she wants? And if so, in which case, then why did she even destroy the hex to begin with? Is she trying to do it more secretively? Like, figure out a way to do it more secretively? I don't know. What's going to happen with that? And my theories for next season, I need to soak this episode in and think about it for a little bit before I even go there. But if I had to go there right at this moment in time, I would think that next season we're going to have White Vision come back and make contact with Wanda, and it is somehow going to influence her to do the right thing and be the right person. But she looked like she's doing a lot of studying. I'm just saying. And my final question would be, where did Agatha go? She said, I'm going to make you the character you want to be, the nosy neighbor. Did she just have the ability to turn Agatha back into Agnes and have her live in the real world? Like, is she just bouncing around some neighborhood right now, being a nosy neighbor? Where did she go? Because I would keep her under my thumb if I was Wanda. I wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm gonna do a spell and you're fine for the rest of my life. No, like, I am still convinced that Ralph Boner is somebody of importance and power. Clearly, I want to say clearly, I'm confirming it, Agatha's husband or boyfriend, because he said the missus, unless that was just supposed to be alluded to a joke, but he's tied to Agatha, so I would assume that whatever spell or curse or whatever Wanda puts on Agatha, he's going to be able to assist in getting rid of. My God. I feel like I need a nap. I'm so tired. I am mentally drained. That was a very, very good finale. I honestly cannot complain about anything. I don't have any complaints. And we got to see all of our characters that we love. Oh, and freaking Tyler. What a jerk. I hate him so much. Oh, he sucks so much. And now he is arrested. That is fantastic. Jimmy coming in with the backup. Fantastic. Ice cream truck hit with a bus. Was that an ice cream truck? Our girl coming in, hitting Tyler with the truck. It was perfect. I loved it. I really cannot complain about anything, and I'm excited to watch other reviews and reactions to see what everybody else thought. So, whew, it's the end, guys. We did it. Season 1, and I cannot wait until this comes back. I can also not wait until Falcon and Winter Soldier comes. Bucky, my man. Make sure you throw a like up on this video or a dislike if you do or you do not like what you see. Let me know down in the comments the answers to all of my questions that we just talked about. Subscribe if you have not yet. We do fun things here and we will be doing Falcon and Winter Soldier. So make sure you ring-a-ling-a-ling the bell to be notified when I upload videos. And in the description is the link to my brand new Patreon. It's only $5 a month and it has all my unedited reactions. Alice in Borderland, Sweet Home, full season WandaVision. This will be uploaded immediately after I'm done with this video. I will be watching Captain Marvel. And that's it. I'm sad, guys. So long, everyone. Try to make someone smile today. You never know when you might need it next. Talk in the comments. We'll talk all over everything Wanda. Bye.